Isn't that a beauty?
Yeah. I'm assuming they will.
Well, that's a tough question. There's lots of ways to reduce, and one of the main ways, I think, is to be more accountable to the people. And the bike path that's going in Valley View Interchange is a good example of where we have to tighten our belt and be more accountable for those big project items that go through. So, yeah, just be more on the ball and have a more open process and allow the people to actually see where the money is spent.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, that's an easy question to answer, okay? Simple thing to do was when they built the Valley bike path, they shouldn't have put that in. They shouldn't have put the new public works yard up into the South Gate Industrial Park. They shouldn't have had the parkade, and they shouldn't have built that McGill bypass. That's $8 million that time. And let me go on even some more, okay? The Thompson River University should not have that law building built, because you should have all that money directed so the students could be able to have affordable education. And the hospital should be then switched over from the master plan with that parkade in the front and get rid of the trees, and it should start shifting on to a long-term 10-year plan on making a long-term hospital.
Thank you, Glenn. This is a tough question, because reducing taxes is different than not raising taxes. And reducing taxes would mean that you would have to cut any type of programs that you have, or any type of capital projects that you may have on hand. Reducing taxes is almost impossible, because you already have infrastructure in place that needs to be paid. But what you can do is maintain the tax base that you have by not adding to it with other projects. Thank you.
Well, I think we have to recognize that there's different funding sources, and certainly things like the Hillside Connector, that was funded 90% by development cost charges, which is paid by the development community as they're building houses. And we have to be mindful of those costs as well to make sure that we don't make building houses unaffordable. But zero tax increase is really a step backwards for a community, and any community that you look at that does that, within a couple of years they have to do major catch-up, and they start looking at 5 and 6% property tax hikes. And anywhere you look, that happens. Toronto, they came in with was going to take out 5 or 10% out of the budget, and there's an uprising going on in Toronto right now because of the things that they have to cut and close, like libraries and services. 40% of our taxation budget is for police and fire services. So you automatically have very little to cut in terms of that. Where you do have to start to look at cuts then is the arts, is our social programs, is how we subsidize sports facilities for youth and senior fees. So those are the types of things. So it's very difficult to do, but I think as long as we keep on this path of trying to keep tax increases at or below inflation, which we have been doing over the last several years, then we can keep the city affordable.
Thank you, Peter. So we are a little over in our time. We were quite